everyone, peace and blessings. I am Mystic at the Crossroads. If you are returning to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome back. If you are new to my channel, you are definitely not here by accident, and welcome to you as well. If you have not already done so, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the upcoming videos for June. And if you like this video, be sure to let me know by pressing the like button so I can keep them coming. Alright, so tonight's video we are going to talk about the signs and symptoms, whether or not you have been cursed. Has someone put witchcraft on you? Also oftenly referred to as being rooted, and some of the ways you can tell if you have, and what can you do to get rid of it, fix it, change it, break it. Also, we'll talk a little bit about protection so that this doesn't happen again, and just sort of what are some of the key elements that you should really be working on in order to change the condition. Now, before I go down the list of common signs and symptoms, first of all, I want to clarify that there is a difference in being hexed and being cursed. And the terminology is often interchangeably used. So when people come to me and they ask, I want to know, have I been hexed or have I been cursed? There is a significant difference, and there are specific things that need to be identified and looked at to kind of figure out which one, if at all, but which one of the two that it is. So the difference in being hexed and being cursed. Being hexed is where someone has done a baneful magic spell. Some people refer to it as an evil spell, black magic, or something like that, but baneful magic. So that can be, a revenge spell. If someone, they want to get back at you because they're angry. They did a breakup spell on you, or they're trying to get you fired, or they want you to move out, and they've did a candle ritual, or they've set something out for you. Whatever, there's hundreds of ways of doing it, but they have casted a spell to cause something to happen that's, wouldn't be viewed in your best favor. So that is where somebody has hexed you. Whether or not someone has cursed you, that is fairly different. Now, yes, it is still done through the use of ritual. It can be candle magic, it can be herbs, oils, bath magic. There's a number of ways it can be done, but this is a little bit more in depth and a little bit more serious. And what the person is sending to you is will cause more, bigger, heavier problems. So what I mean by that is someone has cursed you. They're wishing you no good, like everything bad happened to you, where this can be, losing everything that you own, everything you have, everything you've worked for, losing your life even. They are sending you bad luck so that things continuously happen to you to break you or to bring you no good. There is also something referred to as generational curses, and this is where something happens, it transpired, a relative, did something, or maybe not, because you don't have to do anything for someone to curse you, but something transpired and a practitioner of magic not just cursed them, but they have cursed the entire bloodline, meaning everyone in your family that shares your blood, every child that is born from that person, and so on and so on and so on, is going to be affected by the type of spell or work or bad luck, evil energy, whatever it is that they've set out. And generational curses, that is different, because it has to be broken, and they pass on, and it passes on, and it passes on. And the longer that it's running from family member to family member, the stronger the energy gets. The more family members it affects, the stronger the energy gets. So I just kind of wanted to be a little clear on what the difference is between the two. Now, when we're talking about curses, we'll go into that later, but the ways that you would break it or banish it are in the same area, but slightly different, okay? But first, let's go down the list of signs and symptoms to help you determine whether or not someone has put some witchcraft on you. I have made some notes here. Now, I want to say, number one, I don't want anyone to hear one of these signs or symptoms and automatically jump to conclusions like, oh my God, someone has cursed me. But if you notice you know, the list that I'm going to go down, and a lot of these resonate, or all of them resonate, and you're like, okay, every single one of that is happening to me right now, then there's a pretty good chance that there is something going on and you need to address it. If it's just one or two of these things, I wouldn't get so worked up. It is okay to maybe look for some more clarification or some deeper advice, but I'm really talking about, you know, 5 or 6 of these have happened to you and you're like, okay, I need to really kind of figure out what I'm going to do about this. The second thing is, some of the things that I am going to mention on this list may be rather sensitive topics or areas for some of the viewers here. So I just want to say that in advance. And also, you know, I'm not a doctor. Therefore, there are some things that need to be ruled out, of course, the mundane or seeking medical professional help, before you just brush it off as, oh, somebody put witchcraft on me. So this is, you know, this should kind of help break that down and figuring out when you should be concerned that it's witchcraft, or is it just something else that may need to be addressed. But we'll get into that as I go down the list. Okay, is that clear? I hope so. All right, so when people come to me for consultations, and I get this question all the time, is there witchcraft? Is that why X, Y, and Z is happening to me? Now, I'm not one that believes in coincidences. I do believe things do happen for a reason. However, I do believe in karma also. And, you know, some of the nicest people, fucked up shit happens to them. Excuse my French, but it does. And it could be karmatic from this lifetime, 15 years ago, previous lifetime, anything. But then there are some people that really don't have any bad karma. And that's a whole nother video, but they don't have any karma, and this is just someone who's really set out to attack them for one reason or the other, okay? So some of the very first things people will tell me that they start noticing in the beginning, and with curses, they start off one way and they seem to progressively get worse. So these first couple of ones I'm gonna read off to you is, in my experience, what are some of the first signs that I usually hear from individuals. And that is if everything around you starts breaking. What I mean by that is, you know, the car breaks down and the appliances at the house stop working and you've broken some glass. Now, this is not to be mistaken with, okay, the car broke down and I dropped a plate while I was washing the dishes. No. That's mundane. That can happen to anybody. But I'm saying you are noticing that Monday the car broke down, and Tuesday the water heater busted and flooded the house, and then Wednesday morning you knocked over your mirror, and Thursday you dropped your phone. You know, this is like, okay, all these things are happening, and they're either happening at the same time, or they're one after another, and it's always something. And it's usually something that is going to cost you financially. So like I said, it's not like you just broke a glass or a plate, but something is breaking that is going to cost you significant money. And it's also usually something that you can't go without, you know. So the microwave stops working, we can all live without a microwave, but if the refrigerator stops working, then you might have a problem, okay? So that's the first thing, or something you should pay attention to. Next thing is getting sick. Suddenly, out of nowhere, becoming sick, becoming ill, aches and pains, something that's not normal for you. Now, we all know as we get older, our body changes. If you don't take care of it, it will start breaking down on you. But I'm saying, if you're a person who's relatively healthy, if you're someone who doesn't normally catch a cold or doesn't normally get sick, and all of a sudden you've had this cough for 5 months and you don't know where it came from, or you've had some sort of condition develop and you go to the doctor and they tell you either 1, they don't know what it is, 2, they don't know where it came from, and the conversation to kind of go like, well, you don't have any of the risk factors and you're blah blah blah, we don't know why this is happening, and there is no medical explanation for it. And on top of that, whatever they've tried to treat you with is not working. Your body is not responding at all. You've done pain meds, antibiotics, whatever it is, and you're still suffering from this condition. And the condition is getting worse, and they can't figure out what's wrong. Or again, a lot of times people will tell me they have this ache or pain or something, and they'll go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, it's nothing wrong with you. Maybe it's all in your head, there's nothing wrong with you. And you're like, I know there's something wrong with me. I'm not crazy. I'm feeling something in my body is not right. And they can't find anything on their test. Then, that could be a possibility that someone has or is doing some type of magic, some cursing, some spell work on you. All right, the next thing is, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Sudden weight loss or weight gain, hair falling out, teeth falling out. And I'm talking, this is just not usual. You don't ever have any dental problems. Your hair doesn't fall out. You gain a significant amount of weight in a short period of time, and there's no explanation, or vice versa. So pay attention to that, okay? Sudden loss of friends, family, spouses, relatives, bosses, coworkers, jobs. One day everything is going great. You have a social circle. You have people that love you. Maybe you're in a happy relationship, or your kids are doing very well. You have a support circle of people that you hang out with and talk to on a regular basis and love you, and vice versa. And all of a sudden, and I mean all of a sudden, like from one week to the next, you start fighting with them. They don't want to be around you. They don't want to hang out with you. They're confrontational. Gossip starts flying. Rumors at work start flying. You get into it with people that you never normally fight with. Your kids don't want anything to do with you. Your spouse just ups and leaves. There was nothing wrong. There was no fight. There was nothing. People tell you that maybe they feel uncomfortable coming to your home or being around you. They just don't feel right. They just stop liking you for no reason. Like, you haven't done anything to these people. Nothing is wrong, and all of a sudden, poof, just like that, your relationships start falling apart. Not only did they start falling apart, but now you've got some, enemies. You're starting to wonder, are they going to try to do something because they're angry at you and they don't even know why? Or perhaps a situation occurs that is like totally far-fetched and has created all this conflict all of a sudden, and this shouldn't be happening. Like, they should know you better than that. This should not be happening. If you notice that happening just out of the blue, someone's probably putting witchcraft on you. Okay. Another one, which is very interesting to me, and this also goes along with living in a haunted home, or a home that has spiritual attachments or something like that. And that's I'll do a part 2 because that's a whole nother video. But I know a couple of people that this has happened to. Is mysterious bugs in your home, or bugs around you, bugs following you. Now, I'm not talking the housefly or an ant or a cockroach or anything like that. I'm talking about, you don't have bugs in your house. Your house is clean. You're clean. It's maybe not even the season. And you come home one day and you have 35 flies in the kitchen flying around, or in the house. And you're like, okay, this is not normal. You have, an infestation of something that, when you left the house in the morning, it's no way possible that between the time you left the house and the time you got home, that whatever these little critters, bugs, whatever they are, have found their way in your home. Now, I'm going to exclude ants in the summertime, because depending on where you live, we all get ants in the summertime. I'm not talking about the ants just came out. I'm talking like, you've got flies, you've got fruit flies, you've got gnats, you've got roaches, or you've just got some sort of insect that you've never even seen before in your home. And all of a sudden, they're there, and it's a lot of them. Another thing is insects starting to be around you all the time. Maybe you're getting stung by bees or wasps, or bitten by spiders multiple times, and you're like, why is this happening all of a sudden? That is usually the presence of some evil energy being sent to you. So really, definitely pay attention to that. Other thing, accidents. You're having accidents that is, you've had 3 car accidents in a relatively short period of time. You slipped and fell. You hurt yourself. You broke a fingernail. You broke a toe. You got injured somewhere. You were out minding your business and somebody dropped a paint bucket on your head. I mean, I know that's a little extreme, but you get what I'm saying? Like these really freak accidents, and it's not usually just one. It's like this happened and that happened and that happened, and you'll recuperate from this, and then boom, you're back in the hospital again. What is going on? So accidents is a very big one. I know a lot of people tend to have car accidents when they have had some type of evil witchcraft sent to them. So be very mindful of that. Be very cautious also. Near-death experiences is another one. So if you've had multiple instances where you have come close to death, whether it's been accident at the hand of another person, you have found yourself in a situation where you could have gotten killed, you're on a roller coaster that derailed, or a train or something like that, pay very, 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 very close attention to those sorts of things. Also your physical, so insomnia, fatigue, you're exhausted, and I'm talking exhausted beyond anything you could ever imagine, and there's nothing medically wrong with you. You are sleeping and trying to get rest, but you're still tired and you just don't feel right, or you can't sleep, you're having night terrors. All of those things are something to pay attention to. You're waking up in the middle of the night feeling like as if something is present or in the room with you. Sometimes I hear people say that they hear their name being called in the middle of the day or the middle of the night or in their sleep. So that's something to be mindful and pay attention of. Feeling confused, forgetful. Maybe you're very detailed orientated and you have just been forgetting and foggy, and you're getting lost on your way to home that you've driven for 15 years the same route. Things like that. You should pay attention to that, especially if it's if you're noticing those symptoms along with any of the previous ones that I've mentioned, and that's not normal for you. You've ruled out the mundane. Okay, so it's not age, it's not diet, it's not a new medication. It's not just because you're having a lack of sleep. It's just one day you're fine, the next day this is how you're feeling. Somebody is probably putting witchcraft on you. Okay, this one, I'm gonna just say it. Feeling blocked spiritually. Now, if you're an individual who is into your spirituality, whatever it may be, whatever path, whatever it is that you do, whether it's simple meditation or if you're a full-on practitioner of the occult, whatever it is, and you all of a sudden have deviated from your regular program. You have just stopped. You can't sit at your altar. You walk by it and you don't want anything to do with it. You can't meditate. Maybe you're feeling hostile or uncomfortable feelings towards your spiritual and magical practice now. And this is, again, unusual. This is something you do this on a regular basis. It's a part of your lifestyle, and all of a sudden, no matter how hard you try, you can't bring yourself to doing it, or you try and something always deters you. An emergency happens, you get called away, your schedule changes, you're going to do your ritual bath and full moon ritual, and something keeps over and over again blocking you from doing it. And for those that practice magic, your altar catches on fire. I shouldn't laugh because that's not funny, but your altar catches on fire. These are telltale signs that you need to be very, very mindful of. Let's see. Oh yeah, feeling paranoid, anxious, fearful, angry for no reason. Depression and anxiety, and I tread lightly with that because there are, depression does come on suddenly, anxiety can come on. Sometimes it's related to certain places where we are in life. Sometimes it isn't. It's just out of nowhere. Again, this is one day to the next. You were fine, and then boom, you're not fine, and there's no valid reason for it. Then you want to pay attention to that because that's not normal. It's not healthy. You need to figure out what's happening. Of course, again, I'm going to say, always seek medical attention. If you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling suicidal, if you're feeling depressed, don't just ignore it, nor just say, okay, I've been cursed, let me try to get it removed. Go see a medical professional and make sure that that is really what it is that's going on, and it's not some underlying health condition that's causing it. All right. let's see, went over feeling paranoid. Oh yeah, and again, feeling like something is watching you. Maybe you've even seen some type of spirit or ghost or something has visited you. Pay attention to that. And or if someone has told you, hey, you've been cursed. If a family member or relative has made mention of a generational curse or made mention of something like that happening in the family, ask questions, try to get some more information, because like I said, someone, a great aunt or great grandmother could have been cursed, and that's the reason why you're experiencing these things. So if someone tells you that you have, if they're credible, I wouldn't take that as a joke. I would really consider looking into it, okay? So those are a good handful of the signs and symptoms. There are more, but these are the primary ones that I hear on a regular basis. And of course, now it's like, well, what do I do? How do I fix it? How do I break it? How do I get rid of it? The first thing I'm going to say is, if you are not familiar with these types of things, you're new to your spirituality, maybe you're new to magic, you don't know how to remove these sorts of things, I would strongly suggest seeking out the help of a professional. You can confirm if that's what it is by getting a intuitive reading, seeing someone that they read tarot, they're clairvoyant, they're a medium or something like that, someone that can read your energy to determine if it is indeed that you've been cursed or rooted or something like that. The next thing is, with a curse, it's not as simple as, okay, I'm just going to do a reversal candle or a jinx remover and take the spiritual bath for a couple of nights and there it's gone. No. It's a lot deeper than that, and it's going to require some time. And what I mean time, it could be a few weeks, it could be a few months, it could be a year that you're working on this, depending on the severity of the situation. Again, if this is not something that you are familiar with doing or you've never experienced it, it would be in your best interest to get some guidance from someone who is experienced. Even if you want to do the work yourself, let someone help you. What I find is, the more you try to fight what's been put on you, the more it's going to fight you back. So you really want someone that's knowledgeable, that you can talk to about where you're at, and kind of, if you did do a series of spiritual work for a couple of months, you can kind of discuss what's happened and transpired and figure out if your condition is actually improving or if it's not improving at all. So definitely get some help. There's an abundance of information on the internet. Just be very cautious about what you read. Also, the one thing that I stress all the time, you have to be protected. And this isn't just for people that practice magic. This isn't just for people that are spiritual. We all need to be protected. We are souls that are inside of we're inside of a package. But our spirits can all be under attack by someone or something. And right now, we're approaching Halloween. The veil is getting thinner. The earth is shifting and changing. The veil overall, the veil between the other side, the spirit world and our world, has been thinning out over the years. And if you are not someone who has a grounded, if your spirit, if your soul, if your mind, your psyche doesn't have something to give you some protection, whether it's just saying a simple prayer, doing your cleansing rituals to remove energy that you've picked up, something that you do on a regular basis to keep your spirit cleansed and strong, and your angels around you, you need to start. You need to start. Things are not going to get better in the environment that we're all in, and the way the earth is shifting and the frequencies are changing, and there's so much evil walking this earth. It's not going to get better. It will only get worse. So you protect yourself. You should have a talisman of some sort of protection on. Crystals are okay, but they're not necessarily strong enough for certain things. So for sure, if you found out that someone's put a curse on you, and you're like, well, I got a rose quartz and a clear quartz, that ain't going to help you, honey. You need to, get some sigils that you're going to wear. Even if you had a rosary, but something to carry on your body to help protect you. And again, a professional, advisor can kind of give you some ideas of some things that you need. There's certain things that you can carry. There's herbs you can carry. There's baths that you can take. There's a wide variety of stuff. So you definitely want to consider having something on you, even if you're not been cursed, and even if you're like, no one's ever going to put a curse on me. You should still have your protection, because we do live in an energy-based, very negative environment, and you don't necessarily have to do anything wrong to someone for them to have an issue with you, if that makes sense, or just to pick up energy. Okay, so I hope this information has been helpful. I hope it's kind of cleared up a few misconceptions, and has given you something to think about, reflect and look back. If you have experienced these symptoms and multiples of these symptoms for a period of time, then talk to somebody. If you'd like to schedule a consultation with me and maybe kind of go over some of the things you've experienced, or maybe you've had some really other odd things to happen that don't seem normal and you want to kind of figure that out, I'm happy to schedule a time to speak with you. You can contact me through my website at oneritualaway.com. You want to select for consultations where something can be scheduled. And if I can't advise you or help you, or I don't honestly know what the heck is going on with you, I will at least try to point you in a direction of where you can get some help if I can. Okay, all right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and leave them in the comment box below. I will also put the link to my website down there for those of you that missed it, and be sure to follow me on Instagram at One Ritual Away. And I'm on Facebook under Jasmine Atten, Mystic at the Crossroads. Bright blessings to all of you. Be well, and I'll talk to you guys soon.